Welcome back. Today we are racing in the PSGL Esports Cup for IFR, racing at USA. As you can see, there's a dry race, and coming in to our first qualifying lap of the session, we are just trying to set a banker, and coming into turn 1, brake at the black box. We do hit the apex nicely. We've got one of the Aston Martins, one of the VSR guys in front of us. We were actually stuck in traffic the last few corners, so the tyres aren't very hot coming into this first sector, but we keep it in the track limits and set a low 0.6 first sector, which is actually pretty decent on a banker. And now coming through this right left, it's still within the white lines, but then coming into this left hander, you'll see that we missed the apex by a little bit and then won just the tiniest bit wide, and that's the end of our first run. We have got fuel for a second run though, so here we are then for our second attempt at setting a lap. We're just gonna lost a bit of confidence after that first run, so this probably won't be as fast as what that would have been. Missed the apex slightly at turn 1. We've got a car in front of us, gets out the way. We don't take this curb. There's another Ferrari off, it's quite distracting. But we're coming through the first sector, missed that apex, but we're just keeping it within the white lines. And then coming through this right hander, we don't quite hit the apex, so you have to cut that, take too much curb, spin it on the exit, and it really hasn't been a good start to this qualifying. But we try and keep our head up and go out again. Second run in qualifying, we haven't got a lap on the board, but we're going to try our best to do so now. Turn on the DRS, take a wide line out of the last corner to get a good run down the straight. Brake at the black box again. Just turn in nicely, hit the apex, short shift to 4th. Don't quite get as perfect as the first time. Cut that fully, and now coming through the S's, we've just got to send it, which we don't quite do. We are a mid 0.6, which is not the best first sector, but we're keeping it within the white lines. This section was pretty nice. Now we're green, we're up on our original invalid first section of the track, and coming into here, we hit the apex nicely, get the exit, not quite taking as much speed as we possibly can, but we are going. We get a nice tow off our teammate Jensen, and it's looking good. We probably gain about a tenth from this slipstream. He's got it to perfection all the way down the straight, and now braking for the next corner. We take that nicely, and now the middle sector split is a 0.9, which is around the 10th off. But as you see there, we got a bit of a oversteer moment on the exit, so that's going to affect our whole last sector with slightly overheating rears. Come around this long double right hander, we take the tight line, and now we try and keep it in the track limits. Just about managed to do so. Taking the last corner now, we just go a bit wide, get a little wheel spin on the exit, but it is a 130.415, a really strong lap at the start of the session, and we don't improve on our last run, so that puts us P2 on the grid with our only soft run in the qualifying, which on this grid is actually like amazing for me. But yeah, maybe could have challenged Duncan if we got it perfect, but we didn't, so yeah, we move. But now coming on the end of formation lap, you see everyone's loaded in for me here, and we'll skip on because for about 40 seconds we're just waiting. So our tyres are freezing, but the lights do end up coming on. So we are going to start this USA Grand Prix. Cold tyres, but we're going to get underway. 5 red lights, away we go. We get a great start compared to Duncan, and we're going to be past them straight away. And on the run up to T1, we're going to keep the lead. But we get a slight hit in the back from Leo, which forces us to push Duncan wide. Now the cold tyres are going to kick on as we get a massive slide through the right hander. But we are keeping the lead, and we're just going to take it slow, try and get some heat into the tyres through sector 1. And it doesn't really matter how fast we go because we're in the lead. We're just dictating the pace and trying to keep everyone behind us, which we have managed to do so. The gap is 3/10. But then coming on to lap 4, we are gonna get overtaken by Leo, and we try hold it around the outside, but then we decide to give up the position. But then Duncan comes down our inside as well. We've given away that, but then he just turns in and he doesn't feel any of this contact, which is telling me that I am desynced at this point. So that long glitch at the start, that was caused by me, and now it's not an internet problem. My internet's good, but maybe because someone joined during the quali, maybe the commentator, that usually bugs the lobby. But we do check with Jeff to see if we got any damage, which we don't. That is good. So we're just going to try and keep it here, but we get rear-ended by Hadler. So at this point, everyone literally, we're ghosting, either ghosting or they just can't see us. We're getting rear-ended again. So we've just got to try our best to stay alive. At this point, we get rear-ended almost every corner. So we've got to try our best to pull a gap sufficient so that he's not rear-ending us through the corners. But we are down to 3rd place and we could be leading this race still. It is very disappointing. But then moving on to lap 7, Leo pits. We have managed to drop Adler, which is good for me because we're not going to get hit by anyone with the desync. But yeah, we are just going to stick behind Duncan now, follow him and pit in the next couple of laps. So on to lap 9 then. We have stayed out a couple laps longer, just sticking behind Duncan, and we come into the pits on lap 9 for a set of medium tyres. We are going to come out in net P3, but in 11th place on track, so we've got a few overtakes to make, which is going to be a bit dodgy considering we are ghosted for everyone else. And moving on then to lap 11, me and Duncan have caught up to ET8 Yavi Tony. Coming down the straight, we're going to open DRS, use some overtakes, try and get past. And now as we realise we actually could make a double move here, we go down the inside of Duncan, but we realise that we're not quite far enough clear to make it stick without him just killing us. So we just decide to let him past and not risk getting obliterated with the desync. So it's actually going pretty well so far. We move on to lap 15. Duncan's cleared Risa, but we haven't managed it yet. And we get a massive hit from the rear end by Jordan, which sends us all the way deep, which does give us a warning there. But we are going to try our best to get past Risa without getting killed by the desync, which we do so nicely. I think Jordan might follow through. He attempts it, and he actually spins Risa there, gives him a tap. So Jordan's still behind us. He's actually picked up a penalty. And now we've got our teammate Jensen up ahead, who's hopefully going to play some team orders. So I tell him, going into turn 1, that I'm going to go up his inside. And we do so nicely. He does actually let Jordan through in the process, but that's okay because we haven't lost the DRS to Duncan, which is more important. We are up behind Isma now, and we're going to try and get past him as he's on the alternate strat. He's on old mediums, we're on freshman mediums. We want to try and stay in the DRS of Duncan as Shizuka Zizzle retires from the session there. But coming into the last corner, we get rear-ended by Jordan again, and he just pushes us into Isma. And sadly, that has ended up in us spinning, which is really disappointing. Of course, it's not his fault. He didn't know that we were going to make contact. And then moving on to lap 17, we've tried to just keep driving because his points very position. We get dive bombed by Modestro, who, respect to him, he didn't just rear end me, he actually went down the inside instead of rear ending me, so fair play to him. And then moving on to lap 21, we've got Will G behind us on some softs, which are a lot fresher than my mediums, so he's going to make the move easy, but obviously I'm a ghost, so he just decides to drive through me. I'm getting pushed. I think I'm gonna crash out at this point, so we keep getting hit, so we just back out, stay behind, and we actually get sent by Gwill as well. Absolutely nothing we can do at this point against these guys because they have no idea that I'm getting smashed by them. Moving on to lap 27 then, our tyres are really worn at the stage. Isma on his alternate strat is on soft now, and he's gonna go around my outside. We do try and keep the position. We don't know if we're still desynced, but yeah, we just do get pushed completely by him, and he gets the move done, which is fair enough. He has no idea that I'm feeling the contact, and that is the last move of the race. We do finish in P13. Could have got the pen removed, but I've only been jumped by Jensen, so in a team event it doesn't really matter too much. Really disappointing result, but we have outscored Mentalism and Shazoo, which is good for IFR, but yeah, it's only a P13, which could have been a podium. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.